Today, from San Antonio, Texas, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. San Antonio Express taking on Zach Wilson and the Houston Voyagers.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with their opponents. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers. Because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right target.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Whitney merciless in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
Cam's throw pulled in by Robinson here. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Out of the gun, Newton. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. It's complete to Cook. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 30-yard line. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. About 3 yards there to the 27. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Newton now to throw. He'll hit Jackson, complete. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. On 2nd and 7, Newton. Open man is Galladay, complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. 7 on the year. And the Express take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the man who finished it off with a run into the end zone, Leonard Fournette. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, Zach Wilson.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. They go play action now. Wilson. And this one is incomplete. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Hassan Reddick able to record his 5th sack of the season.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And out of bounds right around the 20. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. Wilson. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, Joe Judge going to send in the field goal unit.
And his forward, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive.
And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Newton. And this is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. A shotgun snap for Newton. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he's got this down to the 35.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Fournette on the counter. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards remain on second down. To throw is Newton. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Now it's Newton. It's caught by Jackson. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Cook. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
The offense on third down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is third and goal. Fournette again. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
They'll run for it with Fournette, and he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. Leonard Fournette denied on 4th and goal, and the ball will go over on the goal line stand. Now Wilson down around his goal line. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. On second down, here's Barkley. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
They bring their punter out there now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. On the return, Jackson. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And that will come the offense as they take over. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. On first down, Newton. And Cook has it, left side. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. On second down, here's Fournette. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
51 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Off play action. Newton. Caught out left side by Robinson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Now to Galladay on the jet sweep.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Newton to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Leonard Fournette with their 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Express are able to add on to that lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
After try forthcoming. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the man who finished it off with a run into the end zone, Leonard Fournette. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Houston's offense taking over again.
Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here's Jackson.
Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And he's found the end zone twice. And now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
On 1st and 10, Newton. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
To throw again on second down. Newton, he'll get this one to Galladay. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Here's Newton. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return.
Houston set to take over.
And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
On first down, Wilson. And Gordon's got it. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. He's got Perriman. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10.
Now Wilson. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. To throw is Wilson. And that is incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide, they want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches, and they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. After the sack on first down, Newton, and he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taken right around the 44. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
One final go for this offense here in this first half. And we'll see how aggressive they want to be in these final stages before the half.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first.
Fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. A handoff to Fournette. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports.
This fielded right at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They go play action with Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And they'll send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the... Here's Jackson to return. Oh, fighting off the defender. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Newton. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Reuben Foster picks it, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. After the interception, here's Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Fournette running out of the gun. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Fournette. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. With that run, double check my math. Yes, he has hit 8,000 career rushing yards.
And that's fantastic. That means he's now approaching the top 50 all-time rushers in NFL history. That means he just sped past Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And now he's just got to go ahead and be strong and run hard because he's chasing down Larry Zonka.
Here's a give to Fournette. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll try the air now with Newton. He finds Robinson. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Leonard Fournette. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the gun, here's Newton. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Fournette. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. 2nd and 5 now. Newton, and this one's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Newton now to throw. And a throw there going to be on. Rivera sends out the field goal unit. And this one is right through. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Wilson. That's the tight end Hurst with it. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
They begin with a run by Fournette.
128 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
From the 36, Newton. Man open is Robinson. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 36 yards.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Newton's throw taken in here by Jackson. 7 yards, the pickup there.
On the draw, this is Fournette, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On the run, it's Fournette. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slow them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Escaping the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Now Newton. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Newton. Flush, and he will take this one in for a touchdown. Cam Newton, touchdown number 18 on the year.
And the Express look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. This offense so far on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson to throw. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he'll be pulled down, and now a late flag will come with it. And that's in the area of a face mask, I think. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now it's Wilson. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Now it's Wilson. He's got it complete to Gronkowski. A 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Goldman. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Wayne Goldman. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Voyagers get a bit closer. So this is now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
Extra point splits the uprights as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run with Fournette. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. In trouble, and he's taken down. Whitney merciless in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
The pressure that time right up the middle, and he was able to wiggle in there pretty easily and get the sack.
Yeah, sometimes you end up getting caught in a little bit of a breakdown about who to block up front, and that creates the gap there, and he took full advantage, got to the quarterback, and finished off the sack.
And on now is the punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Nifty move by Gordon. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. It's caught left side by Cooks. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Again, it's Barkley. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
52 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He's got his big tight end, Gronkowski. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now Wilson on first down. He dumps it off to Barkley. Oh, refusing to go down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Here's Wilson. Oh, look over the middle, and he's got Perriman. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Here's Gallman. And he'll be brought down. Got a man down. Man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Barkley. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Voyagers have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Wilson going to throw for it. It's complete, but he is not going to make it. It's a big play by the defense, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. And the failure to convert and tie the game, now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Back out comes San Antonio.
After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in place, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Pushing through the contact. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Now Fournette. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Fournette. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Going to give this time to the tailback. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Now Newton. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
Oh, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating. Even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground. But both really started to come in sync. So for the home team here, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for our visitors, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.